سريع، دقائق تاريخية، ابتسامة عريضة، فوز ساحر.
And welcome to the show. I am your host, Joey Wobbs, and welcome to Off the Cuff, where me and one other person get to just speak our mind. This is just a show for me to do one-on-ones with people that I enjoy speaking with. And lo and behold, since we hit 1K, I had to bring Guni back. Not only because I hit 1K, but because Chelsea did their thing. Chelsea, everything that we predicted since the last time we were on the show, Guni, came true. So, bro, how we doing, man? How's life been, bro?
Yeah, bro. Good for a change, man. Long time in the ghetto as a Chelsea fan. We suffered a lot. We've been starved. We've been frustrated. We've been polarized as a fan base. And it was just amazing to end the season the way it ended. Just purely as well. I mean, trophies, they're the aim of football. The best thing to have, you know what I mean? But it was more than that. It was nice to just see unity amongst the fan base for the first time in such a long
Probably
time.
since the Champions League final.
Oh, yeah. So for me, it was really about bringing the fan base together. And now it's also given us hope. Do you know what I mean? And within that hope, I think the environment, just as how we're treating each other on social medias and so on and so forth, it's improved. And it's good to say that. And I know it's kind of a bit off tangent. I'm talking about social matters when we should be talking about football, but it's just something that means something to me because for a while I've just been tired of the polarization because everybody, no matter how frustrated you are, we're all trying to get to the same destination, which is success. And we've experienced some of it. So for us fans, we 100% deserve it. So yeah, man, there's that. But now let's move on to the team. The team, I mean, young team. We've been asking questions. When are we going to get something over the line? We've been to cup finals. We've fallen short. It's been heartbreak, especially at Wembley. So to do it in the fashion that we did, beating, domestic and European champions PSG, it's a big statement. It's a huge statement. And
I think that is the more of the statement than the trophy, in my opinion. Like the trophy is absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. It is great that we got it. But the statement that we put on PSG that day to say nobody else in Europe could do this, but we did. Yeah. Right? Not only did we busted their ass.
In a cup final.
To ass style.
Yeah, so it's
on a real note, that's what ended up happening. It's like how can you look at it in any other way? They showed up, and if anybody tells me they didn't show up, just go look at Luis Enrique's reaction at the end of the game. They showed up to the game. They just didn't perform.
Right, they exactly. Because they
really.
For me, it was a case of PSG, because with the stories coming out, whether they're to be believed or not is one thing, but I can sort of believe that PSG had one eye on the trophy and were treating it before the game like they had won it. I can see that. And it was, and you know what? Although you should never ever approach any professional or any environment in such a way with such complacency, they were a bit of an exception to the rule because it was an earned arrogance. Because look at what they've done all season. They have cleaned up. Fair play to PSG. But what they didn't realize...
Everybody
exactly. Even
everybody thought they deserved that type of arrogance before coming into this.
Before the game, I always said, I'm not scared of nobody going into finals. I've got it documented on tweets. But that doesn't mean the possibility didn't run through the back of my mind like it did everybody else's, if I'm being honest. So that didn't happen. But the point is this, these guys are going to carry this win into this up-and-coming season. They have now set an expectation for themselves. Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, is once you do something like this and you show your ability to win on the biggest stage, you're at Chelsea Football Club. We don't forget about that.
We expect that now.
You have now set a level of standards that is the bare minimum at the club. And now let's see how they will respond to that. I think they'll do pretty well, honestly.
I agree.
I think this trophy.
I've seen a level of maturity, Guni. Did you notice? I felt like there was a level of maturity that was needed to win the final, right? Like I feel like there's something about like this football club, or especially like the last few years, where we kind of lose our heads. Like, but when we walk into these type of games, we kind of are like, A, age, right? But like B, we're just a little like headed in the sense. But it looked like everybody just came in focused. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember the picture of the Champions League final before the Champions League final 2021, where Chelsea's lined up in a line in the tunnel, and Man City's kind of all over the place, and we were like, that's a focused team. That's a team right there that looks focused, and that team doesn't. Like, this is a team that looks like they're ready for the moment. That team doesn't. Like, it looked like that coming from Chelsea this time around. Like, not the way that we looked against Liverpool at Wembley, but this looked like a focused team, like a very focused team. And we could, like you said, it has to be brought into the season. It has to. It's not it has to. It must. On every front, including Robert Sanchez. Not at Robert Sanchez. Don't give me a vibe you can't maintain, bro.
Well, look, before we make any definitives, let's wait till the window closes, because some of these players that we mentioned, you never know, they might not even be starting for our club, right? Because you've got to look at the work that we're currently doing and what could potentially about to happen with this club in this transfer window.
Let's talk about the window a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far with where the window is right now, the window of Gittins, Delap, Pedro so far, right? I think that's it, right? That's all we've bought in so far, those three.
Gittins, Delap,
and then you have like Esteval and the ones that we've already bought and coming in, right? Where do you think we are? Like, how do you think the window looks in it so far for us?
There's a lot of work to do still. There's a lot of work to do. As the team currently stands, I'm definitely expecting a comfortable top 4 finish. As the team currently stands, there's still a lot of time in the window. Do you know what I mean? So my opinion can change. It can either escalate, it can either stay the same, or it could regress. We don't know until the window's closed. That's what I will use as my disclaimer. But those 3 coming in, for me, it's a good start, especially addressing the attack, because when you look at what's been done, right, that front 3 of Jackson, Madueke, and Neto, or whoever else you want to put on that wing, there's only one man standing.
Yep.
So this is a complete revamp, because Nicholas Jackson, he's on his way out. We're not stupid.
But we've been saying that for a while. So
we're not stupid. We see what's going on.
Have to bang on the drum too much. We get it. Like,
it's the writing. Yeah, the writing's been on the wall, so we already know he's out of it. So essentially, we're revamping this attack completely, and then on top of that, Xavi Simons is not going to be the last attacking option if we're able to get.
You think? Well, that's where we're going to go. That's where I was going to go next, but
I think it's based on players that we get out. There's Nkunku. Apparently, we've dropped the price tag on him, so Bayern are interested, Newcastle are interested. Several clubs, has been reported today on Twitter. Then you've got the Jackson situation. He wants to stay in England. There could be interest from Villa. We know the strongest interest is coming from Manchester United. So let's see what can be done there. So could be even still exciting times. But the thing is, Joey's, we can't get too carried away with the attack, because we've got other responsibilities that we need to take care of. At this point for me, the only way I'll be fully happy with the attack is if it doesn't take away, if it doesn't subtract from, let's say, a defensive position or a goalkeeper position, if we've got the opportunity to address that. That's the only time where I would be a little bit like, well, maybe we went a little top heavy this summer. We could have kind of spread it out. But again, that all comes down to availability and sensible price tags, if we're being completely honest.
I think my problem with that is like, the few positions, like if you were to ask me, Joe, where could Chelsea improve on, right? And I say, they could potentially improve in center back, right? They could get some more depth at left back at this point because Cucurella, we don't need Cucurella getting an injury. Bless that guy's soul. Like, bless his soul. Like, we don't need him getting an injury. And then we could upgrade at goalkeeper, right? And then I kind of go and look around the field of like players that are kind of around the market. And I go, all right, how many players in like at what level better are they than Trevor Chalobah? Because really, Trev is like the one that we would either sell or not sell more than likely. Because it looks like Tosin made himself more of like a club leader. You know what I'm saying? Like inside the club leader. You know what I mean? So you can see it in like kind of like the minuscule pieces with him and Palmer. Like he's a club leader per se. So I don't think he would be the one that's sold. But like for Trev, like is there anybody that you would say is significantly better than Trev? And like
I honestly feel that Trev is the wrong option to be selling. I
completely
disagree with that
talk
sell because
that's okay. Talk to me.
I agree with having, because this is the thing, is the player agrees with this too. I agree with Trev being a squad player. Trev understands his role,
and he doesn't mind it. Is the best part.
This is what the most
he does not care if he's a squad player.
This is the most valuable thing about this whole situation, is aside from the fact that obviously he's got the Chelsea DNA from him being Cobham, it's the fact that he is so fiercely loyal to this club. He knows I can play week in, week out and challenge for European positions in a Crystal Palace or another club or whatever, and so on and so forth. He knows he can do this, start week in, week out. But he would rather be on the bench for Chelsea and step in if needed. And that for me is something, especially in this day and age, is very difficult to find, especially of quality of a player like that who knows they can go and start elsewhere.
And is willing to be that type of player.
If you've got that, that's one of the last players you should be willing to let
go. It's almost like, but I think the problem is I think Tosin's very much like that too. I think Tosin's very much. I don't know if Tosin's the player you're talking about and selling. And if
no, I would not sell Tosin either.
See, that's the thing. Me either. I wouldn't sell Tosin. Like those two make me feel like they deserve to be here. Not just way that they've improved on the pitch, because both of them improved on the pitch.
Do you know what's funny, Joey? Right? You know, with me, I do give a lot of players stick. Let's But with Tosin, when he was getting stick, I said, this guy can't be sold. I said, there's something about Tosin defensively that I like about him. He's not world class. He's not that level, but there's something about his composure and his presence that helps us focus. I've noticed that with him. And then on top of that, like even going forward, his secondary job, he leads by example. You see, this guy gets goals. He in. And then on top of that, you see how the players respect him. You see how Cole Palmer treated him.
The respect level for Tosin is probably at the highest.
Huge, bro. You can't.
It's at the highest at the club, probably. Outside of Reece, he's probably the most respected player on the club. Like literally.
They gave man uncle status and they treat him as such.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's one thing getting the uncle status.
They treat him like that too. They treat him with that type of respect.
It's one thing getting the uncle thing as a joke thing, but like when they're treating you with the respect that comes with it, it's different. This man's invaluable to the team. It's one of those intangibles, and I know people might think, but there's these kind of sentiment.
Nah, but you need that as part of your squad. You have to have those type of guys as part of your squad. You can't get rid of those type of guys. Those type of locker room leaders. You can't. As long as they're not a deficiency to the football team, like they're not making themselves glaring holes, which neither Tosin nor Chalobah do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get rid of these guys. It's hard because they're good locker room guys. They're good for the environment. They're good for the type of train. They're probably really good in training. They probably you can tell like the type of trainers they are. Like you don't get the opportunities that Trev gets. That's gotten
exactly
without being really good in the training ground. Like you don't
exactly
point blank and period.
And then remember, hypothetically, this isn't Trev's first rodeo of lifting a form of this trophy. He's done it before. You know what I mean? He's lifted the Champions League before. He's lifted the Super Cup before. This is a winner in our team. And that's done it with our team. Remember, it's not like we imported
He
this
won.
winner.
He didn't win at other places.
We don't import winners like Arsenal. We create winners. You know what I mean?
We're not forced to,
do
though.
them
That's
things.
the thing. We're not forced to.
Exactly. We produce the winners, bro. And he is one of those winners that we produced, and he's come from nah, bro. Leave Trev alone. Keep Trev. You know what I mean? And Tosin, you got to keep these characters. It's for me, it's the disposable one should be Disasi, because he's not good enough, but yet he's got interest elsewhere.
Yeah, he'll be moved, bro. That's
take that interest and run. But the Chile, for me, he's not gonna cut it for me.
I think with him, it's more injury issues.
There you go.
I think the injuries kind of killed him. Like he's been like over and over and over recurring injuries with him.
Send him to Italy.
Italy would be probably good for his health too. Like
I think
that type of weather is probably that type of bro. Let me tell you, from living in New York to moving to a place like Arizona where it's hot all the time, it's done wonders for my bones and ligaments. Like I don't feel the pains that I had in my knees back in New York that I do out here.
They do
now.
Like,
the weather does something to your body. That's especially that type of weather, bro, where it's rainy and in cold. Like that type of weather can really fuck with your body. That's straight up. Like that's not a joke. Especially if you're like going through like injuries and shit. That's why people rehab in Saudi Arabia, in fucking LA. Like that's why they rehab in places of warm nature, because it's better for your ligaments and stuff. So
and I just honestly
get him to Italy. He'll probably be a baller in Italy, bro.
This is what I'm trying to say, because he's
balling in Italy.
But Badiashile is not shit. He's error prone. Because the game, for me, I think the game moves a little fast for him sometimes. That's what I think it is. Go to Syria and then go to a place where you've got super solid defenders that are around you as well. You're going to develop 100%. I think he'll be a very, very good player over there. I think he will. So, yeah, he can go. So that's already 2 centre-backs. Fofana is an interesting one, because you see what I think the club's method of thinking is with him. Is obviously his injury record is horrific, so they're gonna make peanuts out of him if they try and sell him now. No club will be stupid to gamble over 25 million for him at this moment in time. Let's be completely.
I agree with that.
Right,
it's the injury,
but then
it's the injury for a couple of their defenders, really.
But then on the flip side of that, I think Chelsea have looked at the situation with Reece James and have said, right, we've done it once, or we have appeared to do it once. Reece James is on a string of games where he's not got any injuries. He's now still fit and available to begin the season. Yeah, fingers crossed he don't get injured anytime soon. But yet, so far, so good, right? Let's see if we can implement this. I know the injuries are of a different nature, but let's see if we can implement a similar program for Wesley Fofana. Now,
and we have enough depth for him, right? It's not like we don't have the depth for him.
The thing is, it's a huge gamble to do something like that. But I think Chelsea are trying to say, look, there's a player in here still. Even after injury, the performances that we've seen have shown that he's still able to hang.
In my opinion, bro, Wes could be a top 5 center back. Like if he wasn't as injured as he is, I believe that he has the ability to be a top 5 center.
He should have been 100%. He should have been.
I don't think it's that deep. Like I think he has the qualities of all the other top center backs. He's just injured all the time.
When we signed him, I was saying to my peoples, yo, you see, in about 3-4 years, he's gonna be an elite center back, 100%, top 5 center back in the world, 1000%. That's what I was saying about him. But my thing is
he has all the physical tools and the ability and the mental skill to be a top center back, bro.
So is this the last chance saloon for Wesley?
Probably, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean,
what is it now? We've had him for what, 3 years?
He's pre-Clear Lake.
A big contract, a long contract.
He's pre-Clear Lake, he's pre-Clear Lake.
So it would be it's not pre-Clear Lake because he was bought under Clear Lake. I thought. I think he was bought under Clear Lake the year Yeah, that first year, that Sterling year, remember?
Was it
I'm
for?
pretty
What,
sure that
are
it was
you
the same year as
sure?
Sterling. Yeah, I'm almost positive it was when we bought him last minute.
I'm gonna take your word for it because my memory, the
Yeah, I'm
amount
pretty
of weed
sure.
I've smoked
Pretty
in
sure
my
that was
life,
the case.
Joey.
Man, I mean, I'm smoking, like I'm, but yeah, I'm almost positive that was the case. Like,
Yeah,
like,
but,
and then, like, I think with West, I think West just, I mean, like, even though like this would be probably, I think we would be able to get rid of him at about 25 next year and still break even.
now here's my other thing.
I think that's kind of a big thing too. I think of it by next year we would be able to get break even with him.
Right. So
yeah, last chance saloon, I would say.
Yep. So then that leaves the options of.
So now we talked about right-sided center back because I believe left-sided center back. I mean, really, like the only player, like obviously Bobby Shield with his injuries problems and stuff, but like, what do you think about this Hato link?
I don't know enough about the player. I'll be honest with you. The little that I've seen.
Well, there is our signing of Xavi Simons across the board, my friends.
Oh my gosh, Leipzig are trying to get Carney. Oh my god. Off topic, my bro. Do you know how much money we're gonna make this summer?
Yeah, it's like probably in sales, probably close to 200 to 250.
Unbelievable.
The Viega deal is going to make them a 30, 40 plus profit.
This has to be in terms of this has to be an unprecedented summer. If we sell what we are trying to sell, this has to be an unprecedented summer.
I mean, Guni, like they set themselves up for this. That they had the way that they've been moving, right? Like for us, the way that everyone was bitching when everyone was bitching about us buying all these young players, I was like, you guys don't get it. They're just playing the market. The market of players. That's all they're doing. They're in the market of players. That's what they're in. That's their market, bro.
Bro,
their
do you
market
know how
players. Now they have two teams that they can develop them at and sell. And don't get it twisted. Strasbourg is making bread. Like
they are.
Oh, Strasbourg, dude. Strasbourg right now, they bought, like, you could probably put that starting lineup together for under 100 million, and that team's probably worth 3 right now. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like each one of those starters are at minimum 30 million, and it's proven. Habib Diarra went to Sunderland, 30 million.
Yep.
It's proven.
Well,
they won't sell Doué's brother, who they got for like 3 million. They won't sell Doué's brother for under 30 million.
Oh yeah,
they already told them.
They're little
They're telling everybody. Diego Moreira, Chelsea bought him for $1 million. We sold him to Strasbourg for $2 million. They're telling everybody 30 million.
And we got a percentage on that as well.
Yeah. Who cares? It's putting it in one pocket and putting it. They're taking it out of one pocket and put it in the other pocket. That's all you're doing.
Well,
same owner. It's, you know
what I mean, it's a super
reasons, yeah.
It's a super sustainable model, but at the same time, they've got to reinvest that money as well, and they've got to do it to us.
You know what? The one thing that I keep on telling people, I'm just like, yo, don't get this ownership twisted, bro. Every year they'll be able to do this. Every fucking year. You think that this is going to change? Every year they'll be able to do this. And getting the talent levels of like Hato, bro, you might as well just be playing FM and just go up to the top lineup of what all the best youngsters in FM and just you would find Hato right up at the top there. That's literally what you did. You know, it's not scouting. You don't need to scout. Everybody knows Hato is one of the best youngsters in the world. He's been playing top first team football since he's 17 years old.
Like, I mean, it's good experience at a young age.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like at this point, Guni, the way that they're moving is we're buying the best talent in the world. I'm not letting them go to Madrid. I'm not letting them go to these other spots. We're buying them. We're buying these youngsters. We're not letting anybody else get them. Okay, Xavi Simons. We all know what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all know what he was supposed to be.
just to go back on the attack as well. There's something else that I do agree massively that needs to be addressed, and that is the type of left-sided winger we're looking to get, because I'm not convinced that Xavi Simons is going to be the only attacking signing.
Who do you think's the other one? Garnacho?
I do think it's going to be Garnacho. If I had it my way, for the profile that they're looking for, I would have tried for someone like Anthony Gordon before going to Garnacho.
But I think they're just looking at Garnacho as an opportunity to make money.
That's purely, no, I think it's that, but it's also purely because he's going to hold width. You know what I mean? And I think that's also something that we're going to look to do, because we don't want to take away from Cucurella's ability to invert. And he's not not terrible, but you're taking so much away from Cucurella by having him.
That's why I prefer us to get a left back that is more robust in the fact of the matter of being able to overlap.
To overlap,
like, yeah. Like, that's my personal.
That's my thing is, although I see Hato has the attributes to be that, I haven't watched him enough to say.
I don't think Hato has the attributes to be an overlapper, though. I think he's more of the Cucurella type to walk into the midfield. That's
my question. You know what
I mean?
No,
I can tell you, I watched enough of him. Like he's a more ball progressor. Like his keys isn't as much physical as they are. Capability of being able to pass, his technical ability, his defensive understanding of where to be. Like these are the things of at 17, 18 years old, you're not expecting this level. Like you just don't expect this level. Where Josh is a little bit more physical, right? I'm talking Achimpong, right? Like Josh is a little bit more physical in his tools, like his size, his ball carrying, his passing is okay, but it's not like at the level of like some of the top players and like a Cucurella, or that's what Hato can bring, that type of level of ball distribution. So to me, it's like I'd rather have us gotten if you go get like Hincapié, who can do the bombing forward from left back. I've seen it for Ecuador. Or you can have him play as a second center back or a third center back in the system, and he can actually play center back for you as well. That's like the perfect overall package, in my opinion, of player that would be able to avoid us having to buy another winger. But yeah, I do agree that I like the idea of having a second option that can hold the touchline is something that I do think they want.
So based on what you're telling me, if Hato is that kind of left back, then I think it even points strongly more to the fact we need that left winger who's going to touch the line. We're going to have to, because if we're going to get like for like profile in terms of left back,
no, I hear it.
That's what we're going to have to do then. And these are the type of players that Chelsea are going to look at. CFC ace, by no means do I want Garnacho. Trust me, I do not want him. But stylistically, I see why. Now, I'll tell you who I want massively, which is why I want a left back who can overlap. I would love that. Yildiz, for me, is the guy that I've been wanting for a while. I believe that even if you asked him to become that 1v1 touchline winger, when you look at his skill set and how technical he is and how he beats players for fun, it's a role that's also suited to him. But that's just my preference, you know what I mean? Because I understand where people will be saying, well, he's more of an inside player. He likes to occupy the half space, as they call it. You're taking a lot away from him centrally in terms of his shooting, his playmaking, and so on and so forth. The boy's a maverick. He can play make from out wide as well. Bring someone like that. Just tell him, look, you're gonna do something slightly different because you've got the skill set to do it. I need you to touch the lines a little bit more. I need you to hold that width a little bit more. You've got the ability to do it. I think he can do it. There's gonna be moments where you can express your maverick, but like when it comes to your discipline, that's what it's gonna be. Most of the time in this game, I'm gonna need you to do that. But they're looking for dedicated and specialized wingers like that. Gittins appears to be so. Gittins appears to fit that role pretty well. He's fast. Apparently, he's good 1v1 as well. Got a good shot on him as well. So that's a decent bit of balance if you've got Cucurella playing on that left side as well. So it's either going to be that. It's either going to be you buy a fullback that is going to be overlapping, or you're going to have to buy a winger that's going to be a touchline winger if you're going to cover that space. It's that simple. But
yeah, I just don't know who else outside. Like, we haven't been linked to anybody else, of course, but like, who else?
I mean, I think
we go for.
Do you know where we dropped the ball a little bit? I'm gonna be honest with you.
What's that?
West Ham have just signed a Senegalese left back who I watched play internationally.
Yeah, he's a baller, bro.
Should have gone for him. But you know, hindsight's a bitch. It is what it is. We can't complain. And to be fair, the ownership they're not terrible in terms of certain areas of recruitment. And you know, the thing is what puts me a little bit at ease with this ownership is they're willing to rectify mistakes quickly. One bit of something that they don't like. Look at Renato Vega. Look, one piece of noise he made, sold. See you later. Get the hell out of the club. They don't care. Noni, as the short time he's been at the club, once they had enough of you, they're willing to get you out and rectify the mistake. So I do like to see that they're gonna keep what works and they're gonna get rid of what doesn't work. It could be a lot of it could be a trial and error process. It's gonna be frustrating in some areas, but at least the will to rectify is there, because you know, gone are the days where for 3, 4 seasons, 5 seasons, you're saying, why is this player still here? Why is Kepa still here? Why is Marcus still here? Why
other clubs still have that problem, Guni?
Right.
It's not. It's a luxury that we have at this point. How good we are at selling. Like, that could be the advantage of all this. Like, as much as we could hate on all this, like, let's just say assume Garnacho comes in, right? Let's just, like, for the conversation, let's assume Garnacho comes in.
Yeah.
You don't think they sell him in 2 years somewhere? If we don't, you know.
And here's the thing, Garnacho, and again, even based on that, is not enough to want me to bring him to the club. But just on what you're saying,
like, obviously, I'm not saying I want him. I'm just saying on the basis that we get him.
No, but this is the thing. This is to support what you're saying. But even if that did happen, Garnacho's 21. He's played over 100 appearances for Manchester United, so he's got the experience. He's going for 40 million, which in this market, let's have it right, is not a terrible price. He's not on. I don't even think he's on over 100,000. So
no, he's on 50 right now.
So this is the thing. If it doesn't work in a season or two, it's easy to get rid of him, and for more than what we bought him for. Yeah. But this is, and again, there needs to be a disclaimer. That shouldn't be our first thought. That shouldn't be our first thought. Our first thought should be
players, though. That's
sporting reasons first. Yeah. But I understand that there's an insurance plan and a contingency plan with the player. I understand that, but
it feels like they're trying to get the player on like a cut rate deal. I think at 40 they probably wouldn't even do it.
Yeah, but again, people,
I don't even know if they put it up. I don't even know if they put it up like at, like
EFC Ace is hilarious.
I don't even know if we put even money down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, yeah, let's see what happens with the whole,
because it could just be a loan. Like the whole Sancho thing, we just do a loan where we have an option to get the fuck out if we want
to. Could be, but you know the way
I feel like they would be willing to do that because it would make
I don't know, because this is the thing is Manchester United.
I just think it's depending on like when.
Yeah, right? But United have just done that for Rashford. They and financially they need money. They need to sort some outgoings. They need to get some coin. They can't just be loaning and looking for those short-term favors. They need to be looking for long-term solutions for these players. Financially, they're in a shit show. So I don't know if they're going to be willing to do that. Look, again, it's unfortunate for me to say this, but I'm in like the 70-75% region that we're going to end up getting this guy.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want him.
Unfortunately, it looks that way, right? I do think that there's a chance Villa save us from him. I do think that there's a chance because of where, like, I don't know who wants Jackson more and who wants Ollie Watkins more.
But then here's the thing: is Villa
triangle of players, bro.
But how can Villa can't really buy players right now because they
right. But let's just say the conversation is this: what if Man U decide that they want Ollie Watkins as their striker? Okay, they spend money there.
Then we're fucked in Nicholas Jackson. That means he's staying then. Because I don't see any other team playing 60 million.
Exactly. Like it's either we stick with Nicholas Jackson or we get Garnacho. That's the problem.
Or we just tell them Nicholas Jackson and just fuck Garnacho. Why? What obligation?
I know.
To buy this player?
To me, it's like that's. To me, the only reason I think, and I'm telling you, the reason why I think it's a loan, and I think that Villa would do the loan too. That's the reason why I keep on telling you that Villa would be an option for him. Okay, because the only reason I think it would be a loan for us is because we've already put money down on Quenda. Okay, like that's the main thing that keeps on coming into my mind. Like they're giving Esteval pathway. They already cleared the pathway for him.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think it will be Garnacho to be the next victim. I think Chelsea. I know people are gonna not agree with me, but trust me when I tell you, I think Chelsea have got one eye on Neto when saying, let's have a look this season. Yeah, I'm not joking with you. I actually
100%.
I think 100%. He would be on the chopping block before Garnacho would.
Nah, it just depends on who plays better.
That's very true. But
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just if it's an obvious like because Neto's gonna be a starter, right? Like he's gonna be our starter. Like one of the sides is gonna be our starter.
Yeah, because
I just think he's poised to have a really good season.
But then you have this is the thing is you have an issue where like what are you gonna do if Simons, for example, is great on the left, or Gittins is on fire on that left, and then Esteval steps in and is on fire on that right, then you can see a situation where the ownership might say, you know what, he can go.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a 50 million pound rotation piece. That we, you know, I mean, in this market, 50 million is the rotation piece number.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the number. 50 million is the rotation piece number. You know what I'm saying? Like that's realistically what we're talking about here. Like it's very normal, very, very normal for us to have a piece like Neto in the team. Especially for a guy who as long as he doesn't, knock on wood once again, as long as he doesn't have any injury problems, right? I think the biggest thing with him is his work rate. That's one thing that Garnacho will never be.
100%. I don't disagree.
That's one thing that Garnacho will never be able to meet with Neto is that work rate, like getting back and defending a fullback like Hakimi.
Honestly,
I just don't think he does. I don't think he would be.
Honestly,
Garnacho has to prove so much. He has to prove like this 21 GA that he had like in the last 2 seasons, something like that. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Not one of those goals I give a fuck about. Even the bicycle kick, none of them. I don't give a shit. Okay? If you are a detriment to this team based off of what your skill set is or what your attitude is, I have a problem with you.
Right.
That's it. It's that simple. You can't win your duels. You're worst dribbler in Europe last year. Look by the numbers. I don't have to give you my semantics of who I think he is. The numbers say he is the worst dribbling percentage in Europe. 20% dribbling success rate. 8 completed dribbles. Guni. 8 completed dribbles.
Look, I'm not a statistics guy, but my eyes tell me a similar story. So I'm not sitting here disagreeing with you. I don't, like I said,
because he gets dispossessed at the end of them a lot of times. That's the problem. He gets dispossessed at the end of them a lot.
I want it to be emphatically clear to everybody in the chat that is listening right now. Guni wants nothing to do with Garnacho at Chelsea Football Club. The reason why Guni is speaking like this is because I'm only speaking on what I think is realistic in this moment and what we have been shown in the media, and we've been shown that Chelsea are very interested in Garnacho. I'm only playing with the cards that I'm dealt with here. I do not want this player. By no means do I want him at Chelsea Football Club. Not for me. But unfortunately, it looks like it could be going that way. you know. So, but yeah. Anyway, let's see, because although I would be disappointed with Garnacho, it's still my expectations going forward, going into next season. It's still going to be a very comfortable top 4 finish.
Yeah.
But we need
very doable.
We need that bare minimum. We need that bare minimum domestic.
And if we could, if I think second's very doable for us. I think
I can't. You see, in terms of Joey, you see why I even said what I said.
Guni, let me tell you something. If it's a weird season like this season was, there's a good chance we could win it.
Yeah, but Joey, you know why I'm saying what I'm saying?
So serious, bro. Like, if it's a weird season like this season where other teams start to have injuries and our depth is the reason why we end up staying alive through all of this, and we just
but Joey, I'm saying this
in certain moments.
I'm saying it's based on the most.
It just takes consistency, right?
I'm just saying it's based on the most important point. Is at this current moment in time, this window is still open. That's why I said comfortable top 4 finish. I didn't say what position.
Yeah,
you see, the position and expectations will come when no more transfers can be made. When that window's closed, then you can come and ask me where I think we'll finish. But as of now, do I see a tangible improvement in this team with what's been added currently? The answer is yes. It's a big yes. And it was. Can we
talk about Xavi Simons a little bit too? Can you sprinkle in a little bit about what you think about Xavi Simons in this attack as well?
Xavi Simons is a very, very talented player from what I've seen. Now, that is a player that I've got a handful of experience watching games with, Champions League, Bundesliga games as well. So I kind of know what I'm looking at with him. Very talented. What strikes out for me with him above everything is his game IQ. He's a very, very, very intelligent kind of player. Very intelligent player. And that's something that I love to see. Is he able to perform the link-up plays? Absolutely. He's
the crown jewel of La Masia after Messi, pretty much.
He's a top level player. And in terms of if you're sticking him out on the left wing, he actually does have the pace to be a 1v1 winger, but you're taking away a lot from him because, you know, him operating centrally, he's such a threat. He's a goal scoring threat. We don't have many goal scoring threats outside the box. Well, actually,
now we do.
I forgot about João Pedro.
Now we do, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, our level of ball striking, just like you even add Esteban in this shit. Like the level of ball striking that we went from to what we went to. Okay, Pedro, the lap, 10x level ball striker to Jackson.
Yeah. So there's that.
One thing I know about Jamie, and I will promise you, is he can hit a motherfucking ball.
Yeah,
he can hit a ball. That boy can hit a ball.
That's what I was gonna.
There's gonna be some crackers that Jamie gets, and people are gonna be like, "Sheesh, he just smacked that thing." Like seriously, he can hit a ball, bro. And we saw what Esteban did to us.
Yeah,
we saw what he did to us, and that's who we were replacing Madueke's ball striking with.
Yeah, well, I'm not too bothered about him.
I'm just
he's
saying,
Arsenal's problem now. I mean, you know what I mean?
But, the level of ball striking that we have improved on, and that was my biggest issue last year. Period. Is the only person who could hit a ball was Cole and Cucurella. Like literally. You know, I'll give Enzo his box crashing numbers, but he wasn't hitting fucking outside the box goals and all that. That's something I love. If Enzo brought that to his game, he'd be unstoppable. If Enzo could hit a ball like Lamps from outside the bro, he'd be unstoppable. But he can't. It's okay.
But
you could bring in Xavi Simons and have him play centrally in that Enzo role. Have Enzo play a bit deeper if you need to, or you. Don't play Enzo at all because we've been playing Enzo a fuck ton of games because literally he played every single game in the tournament.
I just think when you've got a technician like that as well, and someone who plays so instinctively as well at times, because some of the goals that he scored have just been on an absolute fly. It's just and it's just instinctual. Some of the so with him, there's so many aspects: goal scoring threat, creativity. Just the ability to dictate the game, to take the pressure away from Cole Palmer. to take the pressure away from players that are around him. You know what I mean? And when you look at the attackers that we're going for, every single one of these players are technically above average. João Pedro, technically above average.
I think the one thing that impresses me the most, though, Guni, is we don't have any other player that can dictate tempo from those areas. And Enzo's the one player that can dictate the tempo for our team. And the one thing that's so underrated for Xavi Simons is he knows when to speed up the ball and he knows when to slow down the ball. And that's when you talk about IQ, that's something that it's very obvious to IQ, right? To someone you speak about IQ, it's something that's very obvious. But with him, the ability of understanding when to dictate tempo and to get the ball up the pitch very quickly because he has a technical ability to do it, or to just slow it down.
It's also
something that we just only have in Enzo Fernandez.
It's also the low block factor for me as well. The low block factor.
Agreed.
You've now got the IQ of players in that attack to be able to break those down. Because, for me, it was for a lot of us, it was like, we're going to face a low block. We could go 80-something plus minutes and score a goal, or maybe not even score a goal.
Yeah, hope Cole can get one is really what we're talking about.
With the IQ, intelligence, and technique that is around that attack, there shouldn't be any excuses now. Because there's so many weapons to our arsenal, intricate 1-2 movements with these players.
And the one thing that
the same wavelength.
Worried about me, the one thing that worried things for me is that Xavi Simons' physical ability. But if I'm playing him in that Enzo spot, what am I worried about? Because Enzo does this physically, he can cover a lot of ground. Don't get it twisted, but he ain't this monster. So I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not worried about it. I got Caicedo, Lavia, Andre Santos to worry about my physicality in the midfield. I don't mind if I have one guy who misses his tackles once in a while. I don't. That part of it doesn't bother me as much.
But this is the thing with Simons, and as Robinson rightly is asking for me to talk about his defensive effort. I was actually going to talk about that. Is he breaks his balls for the team, man.
There's a reason why Netherlands plays him in the 8, bro.
He breaks his balls for his team, and he works very, very hard. So in terms of defensive contributions, you don't have to worry about a thing with him, regardless of where he is on the pitch. He's a fighter. He's got that La Masia spirit. You know what I mean? So I'm very
size, right? It's really just he's not that big of a player.
It doesn't matter. He's one of them. He's one of those.
It doesn't matter if your technical ability is at the level of where he's at.
He's one of them. Look, he's one of them.
It really doesn't. If you're that technical, bro, you're that technical. The way that he is, and the way that some of these guys that come out of La Masia are, it does not matter your size.
He's one of them. He's one of them little technicians, Look at Vitinha and João Neves. They're 5'0". These guys, but yet they're running players ragged. Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time in history. Xavi, Iniesta, Pedri, all of these guys. Yeah, the size don't mean nothing. It's what's up here. Do you know what I mean? Football wise, what's up here?
Yeah, but I feel like in this league it does have to be spoken about a bit. Just because of how physical and
yeah. You know what? Yeah, to be fair, I can't be a hypocrite and say that there's a degree of athleticism that is also needed. But this is the thing is sometimes and very rarely these are the special players. They can negate that, and those players that I'm talking about are like your Fabregas, your Paul Scholes, those just different level of intellect. Where their legs are gone,
they don't even have. They don't make them like that no more, though.
That's what I'm saying. Where their legs are gone,
they just don't make them like that no more, bro.
You can't get near these players. Yeah, you can't get near them. You know what I mean? And those guys,
there's probably 4 of them in football. There used to be everyone used to have one, a technician of that level, right? Everyone had at least one that could see that type of ball and put it through. Now it's there's one in the league.
No, I mean, but with him, we've got a great all-rounder who's versatile and who can definitely contribute to this team. And I do honestly think he can be a needle mover in this squad, 100%.
I agree, bro. I agree. I think it's a part and parcel of some players need better players to play around them. Some players take the bull by the horns and that they can be the guy in a team that is, in a team that's little bit lower on the pitch, like Cunha, for instance, right? Cunha took Wolves by the horns and he dragged them through the type of positions that they needed to be, and he was the star of their team. This guy has always been part of teams that it's just always been an odd situation for him. Like at Leipzig, it's an odd situation for him. It's like, who's the star of that team? Who's the guy that's going to take the bull by the horns? And it wasn't like it was his responsibility to either. He had 2 different managers during the last season. He had 3 total because they got rid of the one. They replaced him in that season. They replaced another one. Like if you're telling me that this guy, like I think with Pedro with around better players, he's gonna be a better player. I think the same thing with Xavi Simons, especially with his type of IQ. I think he'll fit right in with the type of footballers we got. I mean, we saw how Pedro you put him right in. All you did was this. He came out of the Brazilian beaches, and you did this, and he just performed. That's IQ, okay? Because you know how to play football around other footballers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And CAA Mafia is right. Ballers will always find a way playing with other ballers, but everyone's got to know their role 100%. When you've got the ability and the talent like that, it's about understanding your balance and when to do things and when not to do things. So yeah, completely right. I don't have the most time left. I've actually got to run in.
Yeah. We were gonna end here anyways. I mean, I was only gonna go an hour.
Yeah, you know when the missus opens the door and gives you the eye. Yeah, gives you the eye like yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here. All right. So if you guys can, make sure you guys like the channel, subscribe to the show. All that other good jazz. We hit 1,000. We just keep growing. And that's all we're gonna keep doing. We're gonna keep growing. Guni will be back for sure. I do gotta thank Guni because he doesn't like me doing this whole thanking him shit. But realistically, the only reason I even showed up on YouTube once is because of this man. So like I'm on screen because he gave me the opportunity to just try it once. And after I tried it once, I ran with it. I went to Lewis's channel, I went to all these other channels, and now we're here doing it myself. Now it's the roles have been reversed. Now Guni's on my channel. That's all it says. So like we growing, we doing our thing. Big things coming. Big things are coming. We got to talk to some big channels recently. We might be going on some bigger channels here soon. So, appreciate everyone for rolling through. Appreciate you, Guni, always, bro. We'll have you back soon because I always like having this talk with you. A good hour in between certain times of the year is always good with you, my G. So, big up to you guys. Big up to everybody. Hope you guys have a great day.
Yeah, man. Big up yourselves, man. Up the Chels.